Hey guys, Lauren Rue here, 1010XL, 92.5 FM, and listen, there are some really tough things about this job, and clearly this is one of them, being out here today at Sawgrass, TPC Sawgrass, getting set for the Players Championship, and I'm joined with the Director of Golf Course Operations, Jeff Plotz. Jeff, we're going to take a stroll here on the 18th and kind of check everything out.
Absolutely.
You excited about things getting going in, what, 6 weeks, 8 weeks?
Yeah, it's just around the corner, really, isn't it? Yeah, it's a new experience for us all, and different look for sure.
It's beautiful. This is my first time out here, so thank you for having
Absolutely.
me. It is amazing out here. We're going to take a look at some of the work that you guys I know have been working on, but let's start first with the obvious. March versus May. What kind of challenges have you faced, and what in terms of preparation did you have to do to pick things up?
Sure. The biggest thing is that we overseed the whole golf course. So obviously you can see it's very green, it's lush, it's beautiful. It's a different look for us. It's a new experience for our team. This is something different that our team's never done. So, big challenge for us to come out and try to get the golf course overseeded. It's been 14 years since we've played this event in March. So it's exciting for everyone here on campus to get the players back in March.
Overseeding. Now listen, I'm very familiar with that term, obviously. But for those out there who don't know what that means, maybe give us a crash course in what overseeding is.
Sure. So Bermuda this time of year is just not actively growing. And that's our primary grass that we're playing on. So Bermuda is a little off color. It's not really growing. What we have right now is a ryegrass fine fescue blend that we've overseeded the Bermuda with, let it kind of come up and is growing above the Bermuda grass this time of year when it's cold. And we've not had just really great weather. It's beautiful weather today, but it's a little cold still. Bermuda grass wouldn't do real well in that situation, so we need something that's going to be actively growing, so when we're having the players, we have something that's good for them to play on.
Here's one of the things about being a new Floridian that I love. 55, 56 is cold. Everybody's like, it's so cold, and I'm thinking, this is actually really pleasant for January, but I get it. I mean, 2 days ago,
it's all relative though, right?
Relative. That's exactly
if you lived in Canada, this would be
a
summer day. That's
exactly
right. Right now, it is cool for us.
All right, let's do this Facebook Walk and Talk live action here. We are on the 18th the 18th tee box here. Set this up. What are we looking at? This is where the pros will tee off from?
That's correct. This is, 465-yard par 4, the finishing hole, all water left. It's, in March, what's going to make this a little different is they're going to have a little bit more wind in their face. It's going to play a lot longer than it did, say, in May, when you're having the wind out of the south. The wind's more out of the north in March, so it's going to make it a lot more difficult. You'll see a lot more balls going right, trying to stay out of that water, I believe.
All right, let's take a tour here. I'll say you have lots of folks working out here today. Is that normal for this time of the year?
I think that's normal for any time of the year here. It's a big operation. There's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts here. We want to be, player championship ready at all times. But obviously, as we're getting closer to the championship, we want to really kind of dial things in, and repetition is what it's all about.
Would you say that keeping the greens and keeping the grass as pristine as it is somewhat of a
we have great guys. I tell you, it takes a really good team. There's not just one person. It takes a little bit of everybody. It takes a lot of luck too.
And in terms of the weather?
Weather, and you just have to have things kind of go your way. And we're fortunate that we do have really talented guys, that we do have an art to it, if you will. And you can see that's why you see some dashes out here. We're kind of leaving those lines there to kind of help identify what our cuts are and the directions we're cutting.
Dumb it down here for me again, Jeff.
Yes.
Dashes. Show me what you mean by dashes.
Just here at the tee, we're just trying to help the guys understand exactly what the
spray paint. Okay, gotcha.
The mark is.
Okay.
Until we get that cut in and the repetition of that cut in set in correctly, then those dashes will go away. It'll be very easy to distinguish that is the tee cut.
This tee box we're standing on now, who tees off from here?
Well, this is our resort guests. So we have different levels for resort guests based on your handicap.
Okay, very good. I know this because I know a little bit of background on you. We have a mutual interest in youth hockey. Both of our kids play.
Correct.
That's what a small world it is sometimes. And so I know that you've been here for a few years, but you spent a lot of your professional career in Arizona, correct?
That's correct.
The difference has got to be night and day in terms of landscape and weather. Kind of give me some differences and challenges that you had to maybe come to grips with here that you didn't have there.
The biggest thing in Arizona, it's a very controlled weather environment. We got 6 inches of rain a year. In December, we had 12 inches of rain here in Ponte Vedra Beach.
Yeah.
So that's a big difference, obviously.
Absolutely.
The temperature swings are not quite as great as you would think here as they were in Arizona. Arizona, there were huge temperature swings, especially this time of year. It would get really cold at night, but really warm during the day. So that's different. But really, we overseeded everything in the desert. Here, we're just kind of getting back to that. So I'm glad I had that experience. And I think once our team gets that experience, we're just going to be that much better in the future.
At what point did they let you know and those in charge that the players would be moved up in terms of when it's normally played to March?
Well, obviously, it was discussed early, that there was an option, but...
Do you have a preference?
Honestly, I think aesthetically the golf facility will present itself very well in March. But truth be known, both of them have their challenges. Both of the dates are not particularly easy. Mm-hmm. If we were choosing it from a pure agronomic perspective, we would probably look for a little later in March, 1st of April, or we would have been There's no perfect time, so that we have to be on top of our game.
What's the toughest time of the year for you to prepare the golf course for anything, just in general? Where do you find that most of your challenges come certain times of the year?
Well, certainly it's kind of leading into the players.
Yeah.
The world's eyes are on you. It's on the facility, and we want to represent this facility at the very best. We have the best players in the world playing here. So we want to present the facility at its top notch.
We're getting a live shot here from the 18th tee box. This, I believe, is this maybe the women's tee from here?
We don't call it the women's tee, it's a forward tee.
Oh, excuse me.
So
listen, of all the people to be on TPC, that's on me.
There's a lot of great female players, and they may choose to play back.
Absolutely.
So it's a forward tee. We wouldn't distinguish it just as a ladies' tee.
Now, do you listen? I played golf as a kid. Not very well at times.
So you would be back there.
I'd be probably way back there. I'd hate to embarrass anybody.
No, absolutely. I'd be up here now.
No, that's true.
So that's why we don't want to call it a woman's.
Fair enough.
Okay.
But I played junior golf. Does TPC offer those kind of programs?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And you listen, I had such a bad temper and a bad sport. I was like the golf club thrower.
I can't imagine that.
I know, me either. I know, it's surprising. I've really come a long way. I really have. So do you get some of these young people out here and you're like, oh my God, I hope they don't tear up the greens. I hope they don't screw things up.
No, I think that's part of it.
Let's walk this way. We found the man with the weed eater. I think we should keep walking and talking here. Keep going. I'm sorry.
I think that's part of it. You have to learn. You and I have talked about youth sports, and it's part of learning the etiquette, and that's what's so great about this sport. Learning to respect the golf course, learning to respect the environment. So we love to see youth out here. We have one of the best, youth championships here called the Junior Players. Some of the best young champions or young upcoming professional golfers, really, in the world that come here and compete each year. So Todd Anderson, our director of instruction, he does a phenomenal job with the youth and bringing some of those players up to prominence. So we are encourage youth golf here on a big level. How
often do you have the guys out here mowing and Does it just depend on the rain and things like that?
It really does, but you know, this time of year, as we said, we're trying to increase our repetition. So, you know, we would mow these fairways almost daily at this point. Tees and greens, it's almost daily, but it really does depend on weather. And I know we joked about it being a little cooler. So as it's cool, the grass doesn't grow as much. So we don't want to just wear it out kind of coming into the championship. We want to kind of prepare it correctly.
All right, few more.
And that's the balance that we're.
Well, I mean, just literally looking around and seeing how beautiful this is, and if people didn't have the audio turned on and didn't see you in jackets and us in vests and Emily here, who's doing a wonderful job behind the camera, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I would assume that they would assume it's June or July. I mean, it looks as green as possible. You've done an amazing job out here.
Well, our team has, yes.
Well, your team, that's right. Give credit to you
Yeah,
take the blame, but you
absolutely.
give the
I
credit away.
take the blame.
That's a good teammate. Couple of rapid fire things before we wrap things up. Your favorite golfer?
Gosh, you know, that puts me in a bad spot. They're all my bosses, so, you know, I love a lot of them, but I'm going to stick local here with Billy Horschel. He's a great guy. I've gotten to know him through the years, and just a phenomenal individual.
Your most disastrous, if you will, which I'm sure there aren't many, golf management experience, things that happen on the golf course in terms of a hole in the ground or something that happened, or is it all just run pretty smoothly for you?
Well, nothing's smooth. The thing is that we want to look like a duck, you know, everything's smooth, but we're paddling like heck underwater.
Yeah.
But you know, we always have something that pops up, and every year or every day it's something a little different. I can't really think of anything that comes to mind right off the
Well,
top
that's
of
good. That means you're doing it the right way.
Again, we got a great team that can kind of, you know, they're usually catching those before they come to my attention.
Sure.
Most of the time.
And the best part about what you do, most exciting part about your day?
Oh man, it's working with the PGA Tour, and I'm not saying that because, you know, we're talking here on a PGA Tour facility, but you know, it's the pinnacle of golf. You know, you're working with professional athletes all the time. You got a world-class facility like this. The PGA Tour has a great vision of excellence, and just to be a small part of that, with the first major of the year now moving forward every year, is just an absolute honor to be here.
Kind of set the precedent for all the other ones.
Absolutely. So, you know, to me, it's just a lot of fun every day to come out here and do this.
Well, it was fun hanging out with you this morning, and in 56 days, 1010XL will be back out here for the Players Championship. I can't wait. 56 short days, and we'll hope you follow along